Okay, round two. Oh, what's going on? Okay. Yes, I would like to play first. Man, I would trade every play first for a discard outlet. I think I have to keep double leech on the play, even though the rest of my hand isn't good. There's a lot of decks that just can't beat this, so I'm not going to mulligan. On the draw, I would mulligan this. We put down our swamp to disguise our archetype a little better, although it's not like Forest Go really says anything, but gosh, why is everyone playing islands? If he force spikes this leech, we're in bad shape. Wild Mongrel? Ugh. Just the worst. Hey, guess what? We got blown out by Force Spike. Our whole hand has fallen apart. Yep, Force Spike's a real card. Just kidding. Force Spike is not a real card. Gosh. I think I lost to this in the last Pauper Daily. Some retarded blue deck with nothing but Cloud of Fairies and Gitaxian Probe and horrible counter spells. I'm about to lose to it again. Yeah, probe me again for some reason. I guess he needed to draw something. Counter magic, maybe? Okay. So, I'm actually going to play... Yeah, let's run the leech out there. He probed again, so I don't... Yeah, I was going to say, the fact that he probed the second time made me feel like he didn't have a counter, because, like, why else would you probe again? Alright, he's going to snap here. Oh, Spell Stutter. Alright, so he's probably going to go Ninja of the Deep Hours here, but I think we're fine with that. Uses up a lot of his mana, and we can put down this brown scale that'll stop him from getting mad value off the Ninja. He will get a card. And now I rip the Tortured Existence. Or the Wild Mongrel. Can I get there? Yes, I can. Okay. So I think the play here is bash and pump. He eats 4, which is a lot when you probe yourself. A lot. Play a Wild Mongrel. Then I wait for his turn. If he attacks, I'm going to Madness out the Grave Scrabbler, returning Putrid Leech. He can counter it if he wants to. But, actually, if he plays Cloud of Fairies here, yeah, I'm going to do it in response. My main thing was trying to get the bonus on his turn for Wild Mongrel, but it may not have been worth it. He can counter this Grave Scrabbler and still have Sprite up, but he can't counter the Scrabbler with Sprite because it costs 4. So he'd have to use some other counter spell. Click. Wait. Okay. I hate Madness on here. Like, I understand that it has to be that complicated because otherwise it doesn't really make sense. Like it's a complicated interaction, even just in the rules. So programming it into software is necessarily complicated, and I understand that. But it's still frustrating to play with. So his not having a counter is really going to cost him here, because I get a free card off my Putrid Leech. I get to make this man a 3/3, so he can't attack with Ninja. And then next turn, I have a bunch of dudes coming at him. Which should be pretty good. Snap on Wild Mongrel. I guess if he has another snap, he can get his Ninja back. Question is, do I want to discard anything? I don't think so. I think I would actually like to draw. Okay, he is not bashing. Alright, draw. Crypt Rats is pretty good. So I can run out Leech. I think I run out Leech, and if it gets countered, play Mongrel, Oh, Leech will definitely get countered because he has Spell Stutter Sprite. So that's no good. But still could be worth it if it lets me resolve the Wild Mongrel. The other thing I could do is cast Stinkweed Imp, which he might not want to counter. Or he might have to burn another counter spell on. Could just cast Crypt Rats. If I cast Crypt Rats, he almost certainly has to counter that if he has a counter, because then I can just activate it for 1 and keep his sprite off the board. So I think the best thing to do is, yeah, let's cast that, and that'll make him use a hard counter if he has it. He would need double sprite to counter this. And again, from the way he probed earlier, okay, that's probably the game. That should just about do it. He's gonna block. So I can trade. I could pump and then he snaps my guy and then I can't recast it. I could not pump and trade my guy for his. If he has a snap, he might EOT snap my Crypt Rats anyway. If I bite on this, I can play both Leeches next turn, and if he had the trick, he'd be down to 3 cards, and I still leave up Crypt Rats, and I know one of his cards is a useless Spell Stutter Sprite. Alright, we'll go for it. Okay, so that's working out pretty good. Mole Drifter, that's pretty good, considering how far behind he is. It does tap him out though, which means we can just get way ahead with our Putrid Leech and Wild Mongrel, I think. Unless I'm missing something. Ooh, another Wild Mongrel. Okay. So we're definitely attacking, and if he has Ninja on Mole Drifter, that kind of just stinks. We could play this Stinkweed Imp this turn, and that blocks either of his flyers, but he could easily just have a snap. I think we just want to apply the beats while we can. He's not going to block. He's going to take 6. I think he wants to trade Mole Drifter for Grave Scrabbler here. If he's got a Ninja, he probably just wants to put fairies in front of Putrid Leech. He's not. Okay, he's going to trade Grave Scrabbler for. That's fine. Trade Grave Scrabbler, or trade this for this. That's fine. I just don't want him rebuying Mole Drifters. Definitely going to pay 2 life because we have the Golgari man that we can dredge back if he starts to get frisky on us. And yeah, I think I'm just going to tap out here. I can't think of anything he could have that would get rid of all these cards. So I think we just put our men down and see if he can deal with them. Blue doesn't do so good against Putrid Leech. Another Mole Drifter. That actually doesn't really bother me at all. You draw all the cards you want because you are at 8. And I have a Crypt Rat, so you're effectively at 6. Swamp? Stinkweed Imp. Okay, let's battle and see what he says to this. Just gonna block there and block there. So if we pump, we have 2 leeches. I don't think we want to pump. I think we're fine. I think I'm going to start dredging this brown scale. Is that even any good? He has Spell Stutter Sprite that can block our leeches. I really don't want to go too low on life. So it's basically pay 2 life to keep a leech in play. I actually think that's fine. Because I think the more threats we have in play, the worse things are for him. And I'm fine pitching the Golgari Brown Scale to get a point in here. So all told, he takes 3, 4, 5. Wait a second. So if he doesn't have an unsummon, I could just kill him with the cards in my hand. But the risk would be I would bin my whole hand and then he had an unsummon. I haven't seen an unsummon. Seems unlikely he would have snap plus unsummon. What's the risk if I don't do it? The risk is that he comes back somehow? Or deals with my Crypt Rats? If I bin my hand, then you know what? Let's go for it. Probably not all the way. I actually think I'm going to discard everything but the Mongrel and see what he says to that. He's at 3. See, now I can cast this other Mongrel, and I can't imagine him coming back from this, not with the Crypt Rats in play. I think that's just safer because we don't get completely blown out by unsummon because we would still have the other Mongrel to cast. I could be wrong here. Yeah, this is very similar. This might even be the same pilot who embarrassed me in the last Pauper Daily. Yep, Cloud of Fairies it is. Is he actually about to play like 5 blockers? Because that'd be pretty sad. Alright. We're not going to dredge. We don't have to. We're not going to show him that card just because he hasn't seen it. I don't want him to, if he doesn't know our archetype already, I don't want to tip him off. He has to play a lot of blockers here, and he does not have them. Okay. That went pretty well. Our cheap beaters were pretty good against that deck, as opposed to Cloud Post, because he doesn't really have a whole lot of removal. Fume Spitter actually seems like it might be decent. I don't know if we want more than the ones we already have, but definitely don't want this Sylvok replica and Echoing Decay, Brown Scale. This Tusker's much too slow. And for that we get 2 Duress. Is that good? I mean, Golgari Brown Scale lets you gain a lot of life, which is good against his tempo. But if it goes a long game, I don't know if we're in good shape. Anyways, oops. Do I want Augur of Skulls over Duress? He does play Force Spike and Snap. Snap and Force Spike make this card pretty bad. Not that I don't want the 1, but I think I'm fine just going with these. And I think I'm fine with just having the 2 Echoing Decays. That can make his guy bad. But I mean, Echoing Decay is really only good against Ninja of the Deep Hours, and then only if he doesn't counter it. Maybe I should just upgrade to the 3rd Fume Spitter, or the 3rd and 4th Fume Spitter. I'm gonna give this a try. I think on the draw, Fume Spitter is not that great, so we'll cut it and see how this goes.